Welcome back to The Messenger. Today is August 31st. I'm Helium Lemon, and this is episode 14. So, oh yeah, in the last episode we got the big reveal that the scroll that we've been carrying is actually the map, and that we're going to do some time travel shenanigans. That this game was a Metroidvania. It was basically the first half of the game is a pretty standard fare side-scroller, but now it is a Metroidvania in which you're going to have to traverse, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, traverse through levels that you've already been through once. And now that we have basically the time-traveling shenanigans unlocked, as well as a whole host of, abilities that we've gained through all the different levels. So yeah, this is, it was a stupid death, but it's okay. You don't need to be so disgusted because you don't have to be a perfect gamer. You're allowed to die sometimes and make mistakes, man. So, yeah, I hope you like the, Autumn Hills song, in 16-bit. Pretty much all of the songs in this game, maybe except the boss battles themes, because, I don't know. Basically, every piece of music written for this game by the incredible Rainbow Dragon Eyes, by the way, has both an 8-bit and a 16-bit version to the song. So it's like, oh, you get to hear the song in two different remixes. I guess I was trying to see, just to make sure there's nothing in that tree up there. So like any good Metroidvania, like Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, or Metroid, or one of the classic, or not classic, I guess, one of the modern Castlevania games, you're going to be relying on your map pretty heavily, and unlike the pace, sort of quick, skill-based pace of the earlier parts of the game. Oh, this game it's definitely still going to be skill-based. It's still going to be pretty darn challenging. And speaking of pretty darn challenging, this is a pretty challenging power seal right here. Gotta dodge these saw blades, and I keep falling. And she keeps calling me back again. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna aim for the platform when it's in mid, and then just take a hit, and like, fine, I'm immune for a few seconds. Yeah, we're gonna be relying on our map a lot, and just exploring a lot. So these videos might, if we die a lot and we explore a lot, it might have to take some editing to cut that down to a more reasonable, like I'm looking at, oh, this is post-commentary, by the way, but I'm looking at this video. This was originally a 29-minute cut, but then I said I can use the first 10 minutes of this and break this off and make this its own episode. But then I edited out a few deaths and a few pieces of traveling from and cut it down from like 23 minutes to 18 minutes. Which is, like more than 20%, man. So it's like, hey, man. What's the plan, man? Get out the key, Lee, and set yourself free. Misquoting Paul Simon, probably. I don't know. That's the way to the catacombs, which we could go to the catacombs, but we don't need to go to the catacombs. I don't know what I'm rambling on about. It's 9:40 p.m., and I had my first day back to school, Zoom classes, obviously. Some people I know are actually in a dorm, and I'm just like, oh, that's crazy. These cactus guys are totally Pokies from Mario. I know they're not cactuses, they're more like big walls of flour. Yeah, some people are living in dorms right now, like actually moving back into their colleges, which I think is crazy. Well, for one thing, I have a friend in Massachusetts, and she's like, I guess they've done pretty well as a state in controlling the pandemic. You know, I just wish I knew what life was going to look like after this pandemic. I wish, you know, but I just have to have faith, you know, hope, and a belief in something that I do not see. You know, believe that things are going to be good, even though I can't see it right now. Things are going to be good in the future. And, you know, have something to look forward to, like, you know, oh, tell my grandkids that I survived a pandemic on the scale of the Spanish flu, or, I don't know, the Black Plague, maybe. That was a nice save, by the way. Gosh, I don't know if this is on the scale. I guess it is on bigger than the Black Plague, because the Black Plague only affected Europe, and this is affecting the whole world. In other news, I've been watching Jonochrome's playthrough of Super Mario Sunshine, which isn't that old, but I never watched it. It's pretty recent. It's not that recent either. It's probably from like 2017. I'd have to go back, maybe 2018. I'd have to go back and check. That is a very good game, by the way, Mario Sunshine. Oh, by the way, when you see those, well, once you put your map down for a second, yes, we can go to the Forlorn Temple, and we can go all the way to the Ninja Village, but it's a lot of going to the left, and I don't feel like it. Oh my gosh, I'm totally becoming Klaus from the Umbrella Academy. I'm like, I'm whiny in the best way, in a funny way. Like, I'm definitely doing it to be self-aware, which is, I think, kind of like what Klaus is. I think Jonochrome started his playthrough of Super Mario Sunshine after I started college, although I can't be entirely sure, because now that I think about it, maybe I just remember seeing it in high school and then I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know. That is a good game. I've watched Nintendo Capri Sun play it. That's about it. Have I watched anybody else play it from start to finish? No, not one person. Yeah, I know I used to watch Josh Jepson play it a little bit, but I never had as much of an emotional connection to Josh Jepson as I did to, like, Nintendo Capri Sun. I don't know, but that started in, like, 2013 when I realized I had, like, an actual emotional connection to all of these people. I don't know. I think the fastest thing we're gonna do right here is no upgrades. Go back to the Nexus, right? I think we're gonna go back to the Nexus and just use the main teleporter. So yeah, school started back up today. I have some classes which are going to be... Okay, we're not going back to the Nexus. Hooray, we're traveling. I have some classes which are definitely going to be busy, which are going to be a bit of a challenge. And I'm just trying to think, like, how can I make them enjoyable? How can I set up, like, just good habits where I manage my emotions, and, like, I'm human, of course, so nothing's gonna be perfect, but like, I remember just feeling really sad and empty last year. I mean, good things happened last year, but I remember there were just large quantities of it that, I mean, there, for one, you know, if you have a destructive habit and you're not breaking it and you're not taking it seriously and you're not fighting it like a drug addict who knows drugs are wrong would seriously fight. Anyway, I gotta just take more serious inventory of my life. And maybe that means this channel. I haven't decided yet, but I know I was talking about this channel, like, you know, I don't know. I'm going kind of whole hog on this channel right now because it just feels like the thing to do. Like, hey, look at me. I'm still feeling productive even though it's the pandemic, and this channel gives me the feeling of, like, you know, I'm being productive and I'm doing something. Um, but I don't know how much is too much. And I don't know. It's kind of funny for me to tell myself, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna play less video games and it's gonna be great and I'm gonna feel so much better. When, like, I don't know, I feel like so many of my friendships have started, you know, like, well, not that many of them, but I feel like some of my closest friends have started, like, you know, like, oh, you like that video game? I really like video games too. I'm passionate about video games. And I still am passionate about video games. They're works of art just like, you know, any other medium. You know, I really do believe that this game is a work of art and that it's definitely worth sitting down and playing. But it's just the thing, it's like, you know, oops. Okay, editing out a few deaths here. Yeah, but it's like the thing, I do believe in this channel. I do believe in this channel because I like talking at the screen for large quantities of time, you know. It's oddly therapeutic. I had a class where my class today, the teacher said, why do you want to write? That's your prompt. You have 6 or 7 minutes to... I like that right there. That was really close. And then here we go. We're actually doing it. So the trick here is to just use the grapple hook. Almost. Use the grapple hook. Hold left. Do it with impeccable timing. And then somehow I caught myself here. Now the trick here is to jump and then get a little extra height by jumping out of your wingsuit hover glide thingy. That animation is so long, it's just spinning around in the air for like 3 minutes, and then you're like, punch! In the air. I remember... Oh, shoot. 12 minutes and 20 seconds, so... Yeah, Windows Movie Maker does some incredibly weird things sometimes, you know, even though this is a Windows 10, and you'd expect Windows Movie Maker to work just fine. At least I don't have as many capture card issues as I did in the old days. Like in 2016, I just started having all these capture card issues. And it made me so sad because I was like, I don't want to have capture card issues. I just want to do these videos and keep doing them like a normal person. And I realized, oh, I have a dependency on these videos. And then, nothing down there. It's not like a little secret down there, even though there totally should be. I was talking about, I had this class today. I'm taking this class, by the way, creative nonfiction, and the guy was like, okay, so and like I registered for this class late because there was a space that opened up on the wait list, so I didn't have the syllabus going into class. And he was like, okay, so your assignment is to have a 32-page manuscript. And I was like, what? And like, he meant like 16 pages by October and 32 pages by November, but I'm like, okay. And then he was like, oh, it's going to be broken down into shorter things. And I was like, okay. By the way, this screen, you can't go any further in the past. And I was so mad. And I was like, I have to come all the way back because I can't go any further in the past. But this is a Metroidvania game, and there are mechanics like that where it's like, hey, you can't go any further this way in the past. You need it to be the future. And then there's a lot of traveling. And I watched Snowman Gaming's review of this game, and he had a really high opinion of this game, and I do too. I love this game. And I watched his review of the game before I actually, when I myself was playing, I got to the part where it turns out that it was a Metroidvania all along. But his complaint was that, you know, the travel mechanics is like, you go to the Nexus, and there's one warp for each world. And it's like, yes, you can travel back to the Nexus, But like once you're in these worlds, you have to you have to hoof it through the whole level by yourself. And now we're back here, which that didn't take it too long. But there's a lot of hoofing in this game, and it's like it's not always going to tell you like, oh, you can do this in the past. All it is going to have some like glowy sparkles on the map when there's a screen on the map where you can actually mess with time and go back and forth. But, you know, some screens are going to be one way, where other screens is like, it's going to be, you know, you can go back and forth, back and forth. Anyway. Yeah. So, maybe it would have been nice if there was a thing where, like, you could travel between checkpoints while you're in the level. But I can see how the game designers would have thought, like, oh, no, that makes it way too easy. We ain't gonna do that. That makes it too easy. Spit noises, because I can. I love that bass line. Once it gets the 16-bit, it's just like gets so chunky. This song is very repetitive though. It's like it has this one part. Its song gets stuck in your head really easily, but it's like it feels like it's such a short loop. And the whole song basically sounds the same. And I mean, it has like part A, and then it adds the bass, and then part B, and then it adds the bass. And it's a very simplistic song for a game with so much traveling. Well, I mean, that's the same with Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. That game has nice songs, but they suffer from being way too simplistic. Anyway, that's my hot take on video game soundtracks. Because I'm a musician, and I'm also passionate about video games, so I can talk about video game soundtracks, because I'm a ho-ho-ho man. Obviously. So before I forget, I was taking this class, Creative Nonfiction, and today during class he said, okay, your prompt is going to be, why do I want to write? And just write an answer to that question for the next 6 or 7 minutes. He's like, okay, now you have the same prompt, write something different but still be truthful. And then he did it a third time. Write something different, but still be truthful. Gave us the same prompt for the third time. And then he gave us the same prompt for the fourth time. And then he said, this time avoid the answer. And I was just like, how do I avoid the answer? But it was... I found myself writing about, like, you know, writing is kind of like journaling. And journaling is kind of like doing this, like you're forced to talk at a screen for 15-20 minutes, and you just have to, you can't stop yourself, you can't censor yourself, you just have to let the words keep coming out. And that feels really good in a way. It feels kind of therapeutic because you just have to keep it going, you have to keep the flow going. And it's a little bit like creating art. You just have to show up and let the art flow through you and not get in your own way. I don't know. Here's the first music note. Out of, I think it's 5? And that's the key of hope, materialized from the repeating intentions of countless villagers wishing their messengers well over past cycles. It is one of the notes needed to create a melody that will break the curse. Very exciting. Tune in next time for more The Messenger. Bye.